Grand Theft Auto will be launching on
Thrash,
PC.
I'm gonna need you to sit your ass over on console and don't come mess and speak like you know what's going on in the PC community.
What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So. Oh my goodness. I shout out to Sigs and Serial first off. He does long streams, okay, and that's cool. You know, he's got a lot of people. He's like a breath of fresh air when it comes to this console war stuff. He's a PC gamer. You know, he sails the high seas. He does all these things. It's cool. I like him. He's young, relatively speaking. You know, he's in his 20s. I'm half a century. You know, that's whatever. But I'm okay. So he reacted to, that's what he mainly does. He reacts to different videos. He plays them and he stops and, you know, adds his 59 cents. And it's great. He's like, he admits it himself. He's on another level, on another channel, another frequency. And it's great. It's really good. But what I wanted to talk about is, it's not just him, because I believe VG Fight School talked about it, or maybe it was Oh No It's Out. I can't remember. But, you know, shout out to all of them. Once again, Dirt, WBG crew, all of them. Shout out to Boom, even though, you know, he was a little upset, which is understandable, but still, I still love Boom. All the Xbox people. But, yo, okay, I will never watch Mooch's shit. What is it, RDX? I don't even know what it's called anymore. Crossfire, whatever it's called. I don't watch that. I don't watch it. I was aware of it back in the day, and I think I caught maybe 1 or 2 of them, but nah. And so he reacted to it, and it was amazing, because it was King Thrash and it was Deathsinger, right? Deathsinger is from the UK. Nib was in there too. Mooch was there, and some other dude, I don't even know. So I was like, all right, cool. I was listening to it, and when you listen to it, I'm gonna put the link to Sigs and Serial's join in there, but if you listen to it and you hear King Thrash, and you hear King Thrash interacting with Deathsinger, and I'm gonna be real. Look. I have my ice hole moments, of course, but King Thrash is a piece of shit. I was like, yo, how can he was so disrespectful. Now I don't know if they're friends or buddies, or if Deathsinger's used to it or whatever. I don't even know, because this is the first time I've heard these two interact. So maybe that's how it is. Maybe that's his dynamic, whatever. But I was like, wow, he's interrupting him. He's kind of just like patronizing him. I'm like, yo. And then Deathsinger does, he does the best chess move. And he totally smacks King Thrash through the internet, back outside into real world, back into the internet. I was like, yo, it was so hilarious. Every time when Sigs and Serial heard it, he had to rewind and listen to it. When Alex heard it, he had to rewind and listen to it. That's how bad that King Thrash got smacked through the internet. And basically, paraphrasing, of course, I'm laughing thinking about it right now. Deathsinger said, listen, King Thrash, I'm gonna have to ask you to sit your console ass down and shut the hell up, and because you're trying to act like you know what PC is doing over here, something like that. I was like, yo, it was so, I didn't do that justice. I'm gonna put the clip in the beginning. You'll hear it. I was like, yo, I was about to make a whole new, just a song off of that clip. I think I still will do that, because I need to start doing some stuff in the community as far as music and stuff, because I can't have Kids Move having on the Game Pass. Whatever. Even though Game Pass right now, I was like, I got a Game Pass song in my mind, and then the Game Pass drama came down. I was like, damn, I can't even do Game Pass song anymore, but I'm gonna still do it. But anyway, I was like, damn. And then he did it another time, like later on in the show, and it's a long clip. It's a long, you know, kind of debate, if you want to call it that. But it's not a debate. It's a ganging up on anybody who is pro Xbox, and everybody else is anti Xbox. And they said a bunch of stuff on there that is not true. And I'm like, yo. And mainly, Deathsinger was more about PC than, you know, Xbox. So it's like he was talking about, yo, PC is this, PC is that. And then King Thrash is like, why isn't GTA? You know, he tries to kind of push it and move the argument to benefit him, obviously, right? But he failed because he's like, what about GTA? Why isn't that on PC day and date? And he's like, because Rockstar doesn't, they've always done it like a year after. That's how they do it. They make you double dip, dumbass. But, you know, they don't see that. They don't hear that. Then Deathsinger comes out and says, well, why isn't Mario on PlayStation? Why isn't Zelda on PlayStation? They had no answer. They, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, bam, there you go. Smack again through the internet. Because these fools are just arguing and talking shite, and they're not seeing the bigger picture. They're not seeing how these businesses are moving. And they just want PlayStation to win, everybody else to lose. They're trying to fight PC. You cannot fight PC. I would warn any Xbox fan who is Xbox against PlayStation, do not fight with PC gamers. I mean, we're smart enough not to, because we understand what PC gamers are. We are, I was going to say, the redheaded stepchild of PC, because we're connected. Xbox gamers are connected more to PC than PlayStation gamers, because PlayStation gamers are on a bespoke set of hardware. I'm talking about PlayStation console gamers. Their OS is nothing to do with. The only thing that they're associated with PC is that their hardware is basically a PC, but the OS, and it's not even close. It's like, I don't even remember what it's called. I thought it was an offshoot of Linux, but I think it's something else. They called it something. I was like, what is it? Huh? And like back in the day in the PS1, they had Psygnosis make it, because Sony sucks at software. So that's the reason why they bought Psygnosis in the first place, to make their API for their PlayStation 1, because they didn't have anything. So, and they still are kind of sucking at that. I mean, you make like the UI, the GUI or whatever, XUI, it's cool on PlayStation or whatever, but it's nothing. It's like it's bespoke. It's for the PlayStation. You can't do anything else with it. But on Xbox, it is literally Windows. It is Windows. It's a Windows kernel. I don't know what version. I think it was Windows 8. I don't know if they upgraded it for the Series X and S, possibly, but I'm not sure. But this new FSC is going to be Windows 11, obviously. So, you know, Xbox from the jump has always been a Windows-based system. The consoles have always been based off of Windows. So we've always been connected to PC in that respect. But, you know, those are the minutia things that these donkey unicorns and ponies and Sony fanboys, PlayStation fanboys don't acknowledge or see or admit that they know, or, you know, whatever. So it's not even that important, but it is important in the context that the relation between Xbox gamers and the PC gamers is closer as far as attitude and lifestyle and habits and how we play and how we interact with each other on multiplayer games, for instance, how it is. And it's been from the jump with the online multiplayer. You go in and you play multiplayer. You know, that's what Xbox Live was all about, and that's what PC was all about. And that's where, you know, they are connected like that. And PlayStation, their strength is not in multiplayer games. They had to adopt that. They had to copy all the things that Xbox was doing in order to stay relevant. And now they're kind of falling back behind again. And people are trying to disparage Xbox because of whatever the bad news is. You know, oh, Game Pass went up in price, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, yes, that's a business move. But when you look at the hardware that's coming out, you look at all these different things, what do you see? You know, I only see progress. And also, the thing about the hardware coming out is that it's going to be able to be more than what it used to be, more than what the norm usually was. And that old mentality, as far as what consoles were, is connected to the old business strategy of, you sell a console at a loss to get people on your ecosystem to buy games. And Xbox has usurped and surpassed that by offering games in different places where the hardware is not the primary goal. Because I said this many times, compared to software, the hardware, the margins are so much smaller than software. Of course, depending on budget, but It is, because you're spending billions of dollars on research and development for a piece of hardware, right? And then on a game, you could spend hundreds of millions at most and get that back, depending on how successful your game is, more easily than hardware. If you compare it to movies, right? Video games cost more money, but movies, compared to movies, and movies tend to make more money, even though they're less, less as far as each ticket is less than one game or whatever. But and they're faster to make. So movies are faster to make. So the economics of making a movie versus making video games is different because of the time involved, and then the longer it takes, the more money it takes. But it's I don't want to say comparable, but it's there, and these devs need to figure out a way to streamline the process so that they can be more efficient and put more games out more frequently, but still maintain a certain level of quality. And that's what the whole AI thing talking about. Oh, we're gonna do AI to make it, streamline and make it better, blah 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 blah. And I see in some instances that'll be true, but at the same time, it's like we'll see. So, but I mean, sorry for the super tangent, but I mean, King Thrash, oh man, he is such a piece of work, bro. I was like, I was laughing my ass off when I heard Deathsinger come and just slap him through the internet. Woo! It was crazy. I was like, okay. And this is the danger of effing with the PCMR. This is the danger. You don't mess with these PC players, because no, they're not the same breed. They ain't the same breed. They're not Xbox. They're not console fanboys. They're like, nah, nope. It's like they're trying to argue that PlayStation is better than PC. I'm like, huh? And the whole thing about why is the GTA on PC day one, and I'm like, idiots, so dumb. And then here's the stupidest thing I heard. It wasn't even he agreed with it, Thrash, but I forgot the other dude that was on it with the deep voice. He was like, oh, PC is waiting for the consoles to come out so that they can progress their technology. I'm like, who is this dumbass? I'm a dumbass. I admit it freely. I know I'm a dumbass. You have to admit some level of dumbassity, and you can't be a perfect human being. You may think so, but nobody's perfect, right? So my dumbassery is there. I try to keep it in check. I'm like, hey, don't be a dumbass. That's what I tell myself. But these fools, I'm like, how are y'all able to create and speak on a podcast and make it work and not have enough brain cells to rub together to realize that that's not how it works? It's like, PC is the beginning of all of this. How do you think you boot up your PlayStation, your Tech 5 or your Tech 5 Potato and say, I'm gonna make a game today, and you go beep boop boop on your play? No one in the industry is building games on PlayStation. They're building them on PC, period. That's it. So when you're, we're waiting for, and then they say, the technology is going to be, the consoles make the technology and then PC adopts. I'm like, how you, that's paraphrasing, but that's what they were saying. I'm like, how are you so stupid? It's like, ray tracing didn't exist on consoles. It was on PC. Look, ray tracing is, path tracing is better, yes, but we're talking about ray tracing. So ray tracing has been in computers since the 90s. Now y'all be like, nah, you lying, EB, you lying, SG. No. Go check. I think the Amiga 500, if I'm not mistaken, because I got an Amiga 500, and there's a scene, I don't know if they're still doing it, but there's a scene where these creators, these coders would do different like kind of demo reels, graphical demo reels with the A500 hardware. And there was ray tracing. It was simple, basic ray tracing, but it was ray tracing. It was a reflection of a sphere or something. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It looks like 90s 3D, but still, I was like, all right, that's cool. I appreciate that. So ray tracing isn't new, but having it as a common element of video games is something that I think is a good step forward, but they need to find a way to create hardware that will be able to present that more economically, more efficiently, because right now it's taking up too much compute units. And I think it has to do with how these devs are used to making games, with the baked lighting and all these things. And once they take away the baked lighting and they just use like ray tracing and path tracing totally, then that does save on rendering. That does save on iteration. Like say, I want to put a whole different section of the map right here, right? If you do it the old way, the traditional way, where you have to bake the lighting, then you have to set up the lighting, you have to bake the lighting, wait for that to render, blah blah blah. It takes time. But if it's ray trace, it takes no time. It's real time. So yes, it takes more power, hardware power, but at the same time you save time on the other end of baking. And that was one of the reasons why Destiny and Bungie, they were having problems with iterating on their maps, because they were baking the lighting and it took 8 hours to if you did one little change, they had to rebake and readjust everything. It takes 8 hours to render it back. And that's 8 hours just sitting on your hands waiting for the thing to render. It's a waste of time, a waste of money. So I see the benefits of it. I just think the hardware needs to catch up to what the devs want to do. And I think ultimately it'll get there, and it'll be good. And we just have to be patient on that respect, and let the technology kind of evolve and help that. But anyway, sorry for the rambles again. But yeah, the whole King Thrash getting smacked through the internet never gets tired. I'm gonna put the clip in here. Probably every 5 seconds you're gonna hear it. But I was like, it makes me smile. It was a very smiley part of the day. I was like, thank you, Deathsinger. You made my day. And then Six and Cereal, of course, he added his little adobo on that, made it even better. I was like, y'all are tripping. This is why video games, like that, the console war is, I don't want to say important, but it's valuable in that respect, where we're still into it, and we're not all depressed about the business side of it, which is depressing in itself. But we can sit there and laugh at clowns, donkey, unicorns, ponies, idiot fanboys, and yeah, that's just the short of it. But anyway, I appreciate, and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the clip. Like I said, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Listen to it. Listen. You can listen to the whole thing. It's long. It's a lot, but shout out once again to Six and Cereal. He's up and coming. He's blowing up the spot, and I appreciate it. I hope he has much success. Because we need more voices in the spheres of the console war. And I think there's going to be more and more Xbox/PC master racers, if you will, kind of adding to the flavors. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm definitely leaning to, like, especially if the new Xbox is like an Xbox and has the ability to be a PC as well, like the ROG Xbox Ally X, then it's over, son. It's over. Anyway, I appreciate. I'll talk to you in the next one too. Wait.